Ella checked her phone for the 11th time that morning. Nothing. 3 days ago, everything was fine. They were texting every day, making plans for the weekend, laughing at stupid memes at midnight. And then, nothing. No fight. No argument. No last message that felt like a goodbye. Just silence. She stared at their last conversation. Haha, yeah, we should definitely do that. Still delivered. Still unread after 2 days. She typed a message, deleted it, typed again, deleted again. She checked their Instagram, still posting stories. So they were alive. They were fine. They just chose not to reply to her. And Ellie sat there doing the one thing all of us do in that moment. She started going through every single conversation, every interaction, every small thing she said. What did I do wrong? Was it something I said? We have all been Elle. Maybe you are Ella right now. And today, we are going to talk about the person on the other side, the one who went quiet, why they did it, what was actually going on inside them, and why, as much as it hurts, it probably had very little to do with you. Let us talk about Mike, because Mike is the one who ghosted, and Mike is not a bad person. That is the first thing we need to understand. Most people who ghost are not cruel. They are not sitting somewhere laughing. They are not completely heartless. Most of the time, they are terrified. Mike had been talking to Ella for 6 weeks, and it was good. Actually, really good. She was funny. She got his references. She remembered small things he mentioned in passing. And that right there was exactly when things started going wrong for Mike. Not because she did anything bad, because she started to feel real. And real things can hurt you. See, Mike had been here before. A relationship 2 years ago that ended in a way that left him feeling completely hollowed out. He had opened up, let someone in, made himself completely vulnerable. And then it was gone. And picking himself up from that took everything he had. So somewhere along the way, without fully realizing it, Mike made himself a quiet promise. Never again. Not consciously, not dramatically. Just a small internal switch that flipped. A wall that went up so slowly he did not even notice it was there. So when things with Ella started feeling real, when he caught himself actually looking forward to her messages, when he started thinking about her in random moments during the day, something inside him panicked. Not a dramatic panic, a quiet one. The kind that just makes you pull back slightly, reply a little slower, keep things a little lighter. And then one day, not reply at all, not because he wanted to hurt her, but because the alternative, actually showing up, felt like standing at the edge of something very high. And he was not sure he could survive the fall again, so he did what felt safest. He disappeared. Now here's the thing about ghosting that nobody talks about. It is almost never about the person being ghosted. It is about the person doing the ghosting and everything they are carrying that the other person cannot see. Past heartbreak they never fully processed, a fear of confrontation so deep it feels physical, a belief somewhere inside them that they are going to mess this up anyway, so why drag it out? An inability to sit with someone else's pain because they can barely sit with their own. Ghosting is not a statement about your worth. It is a window into someone else's wounds. But here is where it gets more complicated, because not everyone who ghosts is carrying deep trauma. Some people ghost because they simply do not know how to have an uncomfortable conversation. Think about it. We live in a world where you can order food, book a cab, cancel a subscription, all without speaking to a single human being. We have been quietly trained by technology to opt out of discomfort. Do not like something? Unfollow. Do not want to deal with something? Archive. Do not know how to end something? Just stop responding. The exit has never been easier, and the easier the exit, the less we practice staying. So a whole generation of people have grown up, never learning how to say, "This is not working for me. I like you, but I do not see this going anywhere. I am not in a place to be in something real right now. Those sentences feel enormous because they require you to sit in someone else's discomfort, to be the reason someone feels pain, to hold that. And most people would rather disappear than do that. Here is what actually happens to the person who gets ghosted. And this is the part that does not get talked about enough. When someone ghosts you, your brain does not get closure. And the human brain is absolutely terrible at handling no closure. It is wired to find patterns. So when someone disappears without explanation, your brain refuses to accept the blank space. It fills it in with the worst possible answers. I was too much. I was not enough. I should have said that differently. Something is fundamentally wrong with me. This always happens to me. And here is the really cruel part. None of those answers are probably true, but your brain would rather have a painful explanation than no explanation at all. So it creates one, and you walk around carrying a story about yourself that was never actually about you. Ella spent 2 weeks convinced she had done something wrong. She replayed every conversation, every voice note, every moment. She changed the way she spoke to people after that, became a little more guarded, a little more careful, a little more held back, because something in her decided, if I had just been a little less, this would not have happened. And that is the real damage of ghosting, not the silence, but what the silence makes you believe about yourself. Meanwhile, Mike was not okay either. People assume the person who ghosts feels nothing, but most of the time, they feel everything. The guilt that shows up at 2 a.m., the impulse to reach out and explain. So what do we actually do with all of this? Because this video is not just about understanding ghosting. It is about breaking the cycle. If you are the one who got ghosted, first, please hear this. Their silence is not your verdict. You did not get ghosted because you were too much, or not enough, or fundamentally flawed in some way. You got ghosted because someone did not have the tools to show up honestly. That is their limitation, not your worth. The story your brain wrote about you in that silence is not true, and you do not have to carry it. Second, do not let their exit change your entrance. The most painful thing that happens after being ghosted is not the ghosting itself. It is watching yourself become more guarded, more closed, more careful, protecting yourself so hard that you accidentally build a wall around the very thing you are looking for. The goal is not to become someone who cannot be hurt. The goal is to become someone who can be hurt and still choose to stay open. That takes real courage, more courage than ghosting ever requires. Mike reached out 8 months later. A short message, an apology, no excuses. She read it, took a breath, and did not reply. Not out of cruelty, but because she had already done the hard work of letting go. And she was not going to undo that for someone who only found their words when it was convenient. She had learned something in that silence. Her peace was worth more than their explanation. And that is the thing about ghosting nobody tells you at the start. It feels like an ending, but sometimes it is the beginning of finally understanding what you actually deserve. If this hit close to home, subscribe.